Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start out by giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Marakah Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, the Bayath, Dawadah, the house of David. Alright, so we're just going to go right into it. Okay, so we're going to show you something here from X-Men, how spiritual it is. Alright. So you got Magneto, who was awoke to the truth, and you got Charles Xavier, who was not awoke to the truth. All right, he was all about Esau and all about the other nations, about how they can be saved. But more solely, that Magneto was more like, nah, we are the chosen people. All right, we are those people. Okay, and Charles Xavier was more like, which henceforth the name Professor X, which henceforth means to be unknown. All right, so he didn't really kind of get the gist of, like, all right, well, what Magneto was putting down to him is that he an Israelite. All right, you see. So let's just further right out of do. Let's just play this here. This is fair use. Fair use. I'm not making any money off of this. All right, it's fair use. Fair use. Alright, so as you can see there, now let's go in here and let's get the word mutant, right? So the word mutant means resulting from a show of an effect of mutation, right? That's them spiritual powers. That's spiritual powers. Alright, and Esau wants spiritual powers. So what Magneto is telling them that, yo, we are the people of God, we are the chosen people. We got those spiritual powers here. Let me do this here. Let me get Psalms 82 and 6. And it says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, Yahweh. Right? See? Now let's go back into this here. So it says a mutant form, and frequently only a small percentage of the offspring of mutants resemble their parents. It says freak of nature. All right. It says variant. All right, mutation, monster, variation. Okay, and as you can see there, right, and then when you go down into the Latin, right, the maturi, right, mutant, mature, mutant. Changing, mutant. All right, so the changing is going to come when the elect is delivered simultaneously up out of Babylon the Great. All right, and put on those perfect bodies, those spiritual perfect bodies. You know, those bodies that beat death. You see. You know, so those bodies we're gonna put on those incorruptible bodies. All right, but let's further on. Let's read on. Let's do this here. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. It says, Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. It says, Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he hath sworn unto your fathers, and how the Lord brought you up out of the mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. All right. It says, know therefore that Yahweh thy power, he is Yahweh, the faithful Yahweh, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. All right. So pretty much is that Magneto was something that we are the chosen people, right? So let me get Genesis 25, and he was telling him about how Esau is not the chosen people, how Esau is the devil. All right, he's the wicked, okay, that the Bible speaks of. All right, so let me get here. Let me get Genesis 25. Genesis 25, and let's go down to 22. And he was telling them furthermore that he was going to serve us. All right, so let's read Genesis 25, and let's start at 20. Let's read 21. It says, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was bearing, and Yahweh entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went and inquired of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated. 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated, the Israelites and the Edomites. It says separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Right? And Esau is going to serve us. Okay? You know, that devil's going to serve us, man. He's fighting to keep his kingdom alive, you know, but your fight is not going to remort to anything, man, but just destruction, because your kingdom is slated for destruction. All right? Okay? You are slated for slavery, subjection, okay, and then ultimately Obadiah 1 and 18. All right, just like all the rest of the other nations are subjected, or how can I say, slated for subjection. But ultimately, they're going to go back to their lands. But Esau, you're going to be Obadiah 1 and 18. All right, after your 1,000 years of slavery, all right, or subjugation. Okay. So let me do this here. Let me get Psalms 10. Psalms 10 in verse number 2. It says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor is the Israelites, and let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. All right. Okay, it says, for the wicked boasted of his heart's desire. What is Esau's heart's desire? His new world order. Now, in a part of this X-Men cartoon, you see Esau on his platform, on his TV and his news media, as he normally do, speaking about how he want to set up concentration camps for mutants. All right, in the X-Men. Okay, so I peeped that, but I didn't get that, bring that part of it out, because I wanted to show you that part. But there's an episode where Esau was on there speaking about how he wanted to set up concentration camps for mutants. Okay, it says the wicked through the pride of his countenance, right, will not seek after Yahweh, and Yahweh is not in all of his thoughts, right? Esau, Edom don't give a damn about don't care about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. You don't care about the Heavenly Father, man. All right, and his ways are always grievous, and thy judgments are far above out of his sight. It says, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud, and under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Right? Vain. Just madness. All right, it says, and he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, and in the secret places do he murder the innocent. Okay? And his eyes are privately set against the poor. Jake. Okay? It says he sitteth in a secret, secretly, he said he lieth and waits secretly as a lion in his den, and he lieth in wait to catch the poor, and he doeth catch the poor when he had draweth him into his net, meaning his traps. Right? He crouches and humble himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. You see? And that's where he got Professor X at. Okay, but Magneto's telling him, like, yo, bro, you going for the same trickery, man. going for all that BS. Alright? Give me Hosea. Give me the book of Hosea, Salakia. The book of Hosea 4 and 6. And it says, for my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power of Yahweh. I will also forget thy children. Give me Romans 11 and 7. Romans 11 and 7. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. And let their eyes be darkened, that they should not see, and bow down and back away. Alright. So, let me get this here. Get this here, Psalms 83. We get Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83 and 1. It says a psalm of Asaph. It says, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, right? Meaning an uproar. It says, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. And it says, and they have taken crafty counsel against thee. What's crafty counsel? Meaning like something real secretive, real sly. All right? And consulted against thy hidden ones, right? Talk about the Israelites. It says, and they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? So he was putting the skin back, or he was trying to put the skin and the bone, and he was trying to put everything back into Magneto, man. He's trying to give him the breath of life, man. But Magneto didn't want, Salakia, but Professor X didn't want to hear it, man. So Magneto was trying to put the bones and the sinews and all these things back on Professor X, but he ain't want to hear that, man. You know? It says, verse number 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent that they are confederate against thee. It says, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, of the Hagareans, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, and Assur also is joined with them, and they have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Alright. Let me get next. Because the laws, statutes, and commandments is given to Israel only. Right? Like I read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. So let's go here to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. And he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Okay. So let me get Isaiah 6. Isaiah 6. Salakia. Yep, Isaiah 6 and verse number 8. It says, also I have heard the voice of Yahweh, right, saying, whom shall I send, and whom shall go for us? Then said, here I am, I send me. All right, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make their heart, right, the mind of this people fat, and to make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. All right. Okay, so let me get Isaiah 9 and 6. Matter of fact, I should have read this one first. Well, we're going to go back and get it. Let's go here. This is Isaiah 1 and 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. All right? Okay? You see? So let me get Isaiah now. Let me get Isaiah 9 and 6. Let's get Isaiah 9 and 6. It says for Alright, we'll read this. It says Isaiah 9 and 6. It says, for unto us a child is born, it's Yahushai. And that's what, and this is what Magneto is pretty much speaking about. He's speaking about, how Yahushai came for us, the Israelites, that he's our savior,